Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Fox 2 News meteorologist Chris Higgins with an update for the myfoxstl.com website on the potential for some severe weather in here, mainly looking at Wednesday evening into Wednesday night, early Thursday morning. It's a very dynamic system, a very strong October system, and there is potential there for some significant severe weather across parts of Missouri, Illinois, down to the south and to the southeast. Let's go ahead and get you caught up to date. Here's the latest information. I'll bring you to our maps, and here's the way it looks right now.
Low pressure that brought us the showers yesterday has lifted off to the northeast into the Great Lakes, but already watching a strong area of low pressure develop over the southwest. That is supported by a very intense jet stream maximum wind band coming around the southwest edge of that low pressure system in the upper level flow. That's going to dig into that trough and help intensify it as we go through the next 24 hours. In response to that, already looking at low level moisture return from the south back to the north. You can see that old cold front draped along the lower Mississippi Valley, and the low level clouds already showing the moisture return back to the north beginning. And look to the northwest out there over southeastern Colorado and western Kansas. That little cloud band there shows the jet stream beginning to poke over that ridge. And as that energy pokes over the top of the ridge, begins to knock it down, we're going to start to see the response in the form of showers and thunderstorms from southern Kansas, Oklahoma, and down into the Texas Panhandle. The first round will begin later on this evening and overnight tonight, and then we'll spread north and east across Oklahoma and Kansas. Now, as you look at the dew points, definitely watching those come up. Already 62 degrees in Dallas, 56 the current dew point in Oklahoma City, while it's 59 down in Little Rock. So it's that more tropical air mass that will feed northward over that front overnight tonight and stream into the Midwest tomorrow. Check out the instability. This is the lifted index. And as we go through the night tonight, and especially during the day tomorrow, notice the reds and whites showing up out over Kansas and southwestern Missouri. That's fairly extreme instability for this time of year. Looking at a lifted index on the order of about -6, -7 in some cases by 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon across Kansas and into southwestern Missouri. That's all bottled up along and south of a slowly advancing warm front, and again you can see that very impressive instability developing over southeast Kansas and southwestern Missouri. So that's part of the equation. The other part of the equation is that moisture and instability will be lifting northeast along with that warm front late Wednesday and into Wednesday night. So we have a surface trigger, we have instability. We're also going to have the potential for rotating thunderstorms. We're going to switch modes now and go to our supercell index. This is an in-house product that we run off of our Futurecast model. The supercell index combines the best of the instability with the best of the storm shear, or the atmospheric shear, to give us the best region for rotating thunderstorms. And by late Wednesday evening, you can see a bullseye out to the west of St. Louis. That expands on to the east, and as it would turn out, as you'd expect, that highest risk area will spread east along that warm front as it progresses towards St. Louis by late Wednesday and into Wednesday night. That clock there just on the right side of your screen is at 6 a.m., so that's really for the period from midnight through 6 a.m. So two areas to watch, the area along the warm front and also along the cold front. Both will be capable of rotating storms, but also going to watch for some areas out to the south of that warm front in the warm sector. The atmosphere is not very heavily capped, and as a result, anything that develops in the warm sector will have the ability to rotate as well. Here's what I'm talking about in terms of shear. This is what we call the hodograph. The hodograph is just a wind profile from the ground up. This is through 6 kilometers, I believe, and as we rotate this through time, when we start to get the horseshoe look to it that you're going to see right about there and there. This is late Wednesday night into early Thursday morning. That loopy looking line that you see, the white line, that is a classic supercellular hodograph. And what you do is you look at the area right there. That's the classic right there. When you look at what's going on there, that's what we call the helicity, and it's very, very high late Wednesday night into early Thursday morning. So when you couple the high rotation, the fairly impressive instability, even if the models are overdoing it just a little bit, there's enough instability there to be concerned about significant severe weather. So let's get to the official outlook from the National Weather Service. Not much today, but you can see that area over the Oklahoma and Texas panhandles outlooked for a slight risk today. Then tomorrow, a moderate risk, and this may well get updated to a higher risk, but right now moderate with up to 45% probability into southwestern Missouri. That's along the advancing warm front and ahead of the cold front. In that area, we showed you the high supercell index readings and also the high instability readings. Then as we go into Thursday, that moderate risk shifts to the east from just east of St. Louis into the Ohio Valley. Now, there is some time lag in between there, and it was reasonable to expect and to assume that there will still be close to a moderate risk for severe weather over the bi-state area, over the St. Louis area. And that threat would go through the night, Wednesday night, into Thursday morning, and may reproduce itself from St. Louis to the east on Thursday afternoon. Key points to keep in mind: severe weather potential will be increasing Wednesday evening and continuing into Wednesday night and Thursday. Models may be overdoing the instability just a little bit, but it's still going to be fairly impressive. Models do have a tendency to overshoot the return of the moisture just a bit, but as you saw from the maps, some decent moisture already beginning to kick back to the north. Significant shear will definitely be in place. That's a no-brainer with this system for rotating storms along the warm front, the cold front, and also out ahead of the whole system out in the warm sector. In fact, in some cases, there may be too much shear given the amount of instability. But that balance does look like it will be in place along the warm front and the cold front. Biggest concerns really will be the limiting factor in terms of the time of day. It'll be the middle of the night for the most part here in the St. Louis area, especially along the warm front. That's also my biggest concern. There are a couple of things that could overcome the lack of daytime heating. One being the low-level jet stream, so there will be quite a bit of low-level influx of wind and moisture even through the overnight hours. And the other thing is, if we are able to sustain and develop severe weather overnight and the potential for tornadoes, there's always that concern with folks being asleep. Is the best way to keep them informed and get the word out to them of the approaching severe weather. So all things to consider. A lot of questions still to be answered to see how this thing unfolds as it pulls together out of the Rockies. One thing is for sure, somewhere from, let's say, the Midwest to Central Plains eastward into the Ohio Valley, there will likely be a fairly significant severe weather outbreak beginning Wednesday and continuing into Thursday. Keep it tuned here to myfoxstl.com for all the latest weather information.